post-match talk of the India versus Australia Perth test, followed by the BGT discussion. So, hi Jan, hi Suryansh, hi Roshan, how are you all?
I'm all
Great.
good.
I am fine, man. How about you?
So, I'm good, I'm good. So, we have had an incredible victory by a huge margin of more than 250 runs in Perth. So, starting with Roshan, he was very confident of showing the Australians, as he said last time around. So, Roshan, how do you feel personally? I saw your story as well. So, how do you feel personally after that first victory?
I am only believe on Jassi Bhai, man, because so game changer player is only one guy, Jasprit Bumrah.
I swear, I mean,
Man,
there's, yeah, continue.
what else can I say about that guy? He just walks in as a captain, goes for the toss so casually, and then comes out in the first innings to bowl, gets that Steve Smith wicket on the first ball. What a ball that was!
Yeah,
Straight plumb onto the middle stump, almost.
exactly. Shuffle across and out.
And I mean, you you cannot like you have to have a lot of guts to face Jasprit Bumrah nowadays. I guess before it isn't used to be that much, but he has improved a lot since the last 4 5 years. So now I think you need a lot of you need to be mentally strong to face Jasprit. Jasprit.
Yeah, I don't think they had much respite because the form in which even Siraj and Harshit Rana were bowling, it did look like as if they were continuously at the top order and in the middle order for that matter. And I think in the first innings, that was the difference because we came out, we made a very low total. 150 wasn't much in any pitch or any circumstances. But then to get a team like Australia all out in their own backyard for around 108 odd, it does require a lot of great bowling skills. Not only from one bowler, of course, Jasprit Bumrah was the standout in the both innings. But I think that it has to be given that the other three bowlers who accompanied him were really great. So I think Suryansh, let us you talk about probably how the supporting actors like Harshit, Nitesh Reddy to some extent, and also Siraj helped Bumrah in ensuring that they don't run away with the scoring rate. Australia.
See, Harshit Rana being a magic, basically a new player, so it
Yeah.
was a surprise for the Australian team.
Yeah.
But I believe the next test which he'll play, he'll have to work really hard because
Okay.
they have already seen his game.
Okay.
So I believe if we have some other bowler who is much more experienced than him, then we can bring other bowler. But I think the third or fourth they are thinking of getting Shami in. So
Yeah.
yeah, so they can go with the same bowling attack for the next test as well.
True, well said. And Ahan, to ask you on this matter is Jasprit Bumrah winning the toss and choosing to bat on a first test match in Australia on a green top. It does require a lot of courage and boldness, to be honest, to decide to bat, especially when you're coming as a stand-in captain and not as you're a bowler yourself. You would like to be in the green top, bowling with a new ball, get the opposition all out for 100 probably. But he decides to bat on that track, and it proved to be a really good choice at the end.
Yeah, so I think they must have decided before that we wanted to take a bat first if we did win the toss. They might have
Mhm.
had a plan in mind that we bat first to put on a good total, get them out quite fast. We can again like bat for the next 2 3 days and then set a high score for them to chase, which was the case. Even though the team got out for 150, we came back in the second innings, got them out for 104, and then the batsman in the second innings just took the game to another level. So I think this game was more about how they started out bowling in our second innings because the first innings was not as good as expected to be. But the way they
Yeah.
came out, the way they bowled in the second innings to the Australians, got them all out for a very low total, and then came out to bat and put on I think around 450 runs on the board. It was
Yeah.
pretty great game from everyone. Nitish had a supporting role in both the innings, where he in the first innings he had a good 30 40 run innings where he was crucial for our score to go higher. And then the second innings he
Exactly.
came and stood with Virat when Virat he came and he played like a T20 knock in the second innings, and then Virat also accelerated, got his 100, and then got us to a higher score. And then in the
Yeah.
fourth innings, he just came out bowling. The last 5 overs of the day came out, took 3 wickets
Yeah.
from Bumrah and Siraj. So I mean, simply it was just that day I think was a superb day for us, where we put on a high score with the Jaiswal KL partnership, Kohli coming in, Nitish playing a supporting role, and then the 3 wickets in 5 overs. So I think that's the day where we took the game away from Australia. Besides that, yeah,
Yeah.
the next day head came on, they were also a bit of scared. But as we know, we have Bumrah, so we put our trust in him, and he was the one who got the wicket. So yeah, I mean, great
True,
match
true.
from
Well
all of
said.
them.
And Roshan, do you think Australians did look a bit undercooked since they are playing they played the last test match in March? We played recently in November against New Zealand. So did their batters look all out of sort in that first test? Because I didn't see any clarity in the top order of Australia, both in first innings as well as second innings when the pitch did become easier to bat. But I think they did look a bit rusty. What is your opinion on that?
I think it was more of our bowling than their batting, to be very honest. What I was saying was that I think more than their batting, it was our bowling that came out strong that day. If we hadn't hit the lengths that we are hitting in our first innings and in the second innings when we are bowling, then I think they would have had a bit of an easy day. To be honest, they would have gone with their day pretty easily. They would have scored runs because they have quality batters. Although they are out of form since recently, but they have quality batters in Labuschagne, in Smith, in Travis Head, even in Usman Khwaja also. So I think it's more to do with our bowling than their batting, and it's more to do with Jasprit Bumrah and his partners in crime in the bowling department
Yeah.
than their batting, as I said.
Well said, well said. I think, yeah, there's no doubt about Australia's batting order and the quality they possess. We know how Usman Khwaja can be in the crease for long periods of time.
Mm.
We know what the talent of Labuschagne and Smith also does, and there's no need of introduction for Travis Head, as we saw in the second innings. So, coming to Suryansh on this matter is, after the day one, we saw 17 wickets fall. Over the next 3 days, we didn't see as many wickets fall, probably single digits, 4, 3, 2, 1, like 5 wickets in one day, 3 wickets in one day. So, do you think the pitch played out easy, or did the batters become more confident heading into the second innings, knowing that it is possible to bat in such tracks?
See, I believe after the first day, you had so many wickets.
Yeah.
I believe they got used to the situation in which they were playing. So accordingly,
Okay.
they became comfortable with the situation and they played accordingly
Yeah.
with more
True.
confidence because they knew the situation and the pitch, how the pitch was behaving. So they were more confident in playing the strokes.
True, true. Very well said. That is well said. Han, just to come to your point in the first innings of Australia towards the back end, we had got them 7 down, but then there was still 3 wickets to be taken coming into day two. And then we saw Mitchell Stark play an unlikely knock of 115 balls, with Hazelwood also giving him good support for almost 17, 18 overs, if I'm not wrong, before we got
Yeah.
them all out. So, was those the signs that India are heading into ascendancy, considering that they are coming to bat again on the same day eventually?
Yeah, I mean, when Stark and Hazelwood came out and put up that partnership where they stood for like 17, 20 odd overs, I think it was very frustrating for even our bowlers, where eventually we did get the wicket because I think we got top edge and we got him out. But yeah, I mean, the
Yeah,
innings from Stark, I think not only them, but frustrated all of us at home watching the game. Because I mean, it's not if your key batters, your top order, who are not able to stand for so many overs, and one of the lower order batsman comes and stands for like 120 balls. I mean, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, it was quite a good stand from him. He had no support from the other batsmen, but I think he played a good innings over there. If he had a bit
yeah,
more support from the other batsmen, Australia could have put on a bigger score and we could have had trouble. But I mean, we bowled superbly. We got all of them out and then we came on in the second innings and absolutely dominated the game. So simply, I think this was a very dominating performance from the bowlers as well as from the batsmen. And I mean, yeah,
yeah.
hopefully we can carry this on for the next 4 games also.
Yeah, just a follow-up question to that. So I think that just shows the importance of Jasprit Bumrah on that day one pitch. Because if we had just got Australia probably 4 or 5 down heading into day two, where Stark and Hazelwood did that magnificent innings down the order, with just 4, 5 down in good batting conditions, you never know. The lead could have been with Australia coming into the second inning. So I
That's
think with
exactly
that,
what I said.
Jassi Bhai, only game-changing
Definitely, yeah.
player.
I mean,
Yeah,
as long as you have Jasprit Bumrah in your team, you don't really have any like you don't have to worry about it because he's one man who from any situation can get you a wicket, can get you a breakthrough. which will eventually help the team out. And he's done it not only in Test but also in ODIs, T20s, in all the formats of the game. So I mean, as long as we have him playing on the pitch, I think we have no issues for the bowling. The others will come in with a bit of support, like Siraj did. Washington got a few wickets. Harshit Rana got the crucial wicket of head in the first innings. So the
Yeah.
support from the other bowlers was good, but I mean, justice is justice. So for the impact that
Yeah,
he
and on top of that, even when Shami comes, just imagine our bowling attack after that.
Yeah, it is going
So
to be
a bowling
totally
attack,
different.
attack of Bumrah, who's in some superb form right now, accompanied by Mohammad Shami and maybe Harshit Rana or someone else being the third. Oh, Mohammad Siraj. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, the the three pacers in our bowling attack when Shami returns.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the trio whenever
True, true.
Shami returns.
I think from the third test or maximum from the Boxing Day test, we should see Shami return, hopefully, to the Indian
Hmm.
side. Now, to coming to Roshan, since I've always heard from him that he's always been in Mumbai and of all those things. So, coming to you, what do you think about Jaiswal, the local Mumbai boy coming in and just scoring a magnificent 100 in the first test himself when he's playing in Australia? So, just knowing the attitude of Mumbaikars, because I think you'll know that better than anyone else. So, how do you think of his knock and what quality did he possess when he played that magnificent 160?
See, I knew that the Australian conditions would suit him
Yeah.
because
We had a call.
the pitches. Sorry.
No, we had a call, remember? Just a day prior to the game. And you told me that Jaiswal will have a good tour.
Yeah. See, because Australian pitches are bouncy
Yeah.
and it suits Jaiswal's game. So he plays that square cut well. He plays that back foot punch well. So
Hmm.
that Australian condition suits him better than any Indian opener right now.
Yeah.
And can we also talk about him going after Mitchell Stark and saying you're coming too slow at me?
Yeah, yeah. Please carry on. You should continue. And then
I
he flicked
mean
him for six.
that that just shows what type of confidence he is in right now. He's oozing confidence as of now. To
Yeah.
go after Mitchell Stark, who is probably the second best Test bowler after Hazelwood for Australia
Yeah.
currently, and to go at him and tell him that you're coming too slow at me when he was batting, when Stark was batting, and when he had said to Ashit Rana that I know he had said something similar. I
Yeah, he
don't know
told,
what.
I bowl faster than you, Harshit. And I have a good memory.
Because they
Yeah,
played in
yeah,
KKR together, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
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 KKR bowling partnership.
So to take that revenge, Yashasvi said that to Mitchell Stark,
Yeah.
uh, telling him that you're coming too slow at me. So that just shows that he's high in confidence right now,
Yeah.
and I won't be surprised if he has another 100 in the second test or the test after the second also.
Okay, very well said. I think, yeah, the way he's just portraying himself on the field, the confidence with which he stands even in the non-striker's end, that shows that he
Hmm.
knows that it's very tough to get him out in any circumstances, and that just shows the class of
Right.
the player. And now coming to Suryansh on this matter is, what do you see of Nitesh Reddy as a whole, like just as an all-rounder package? Because he's come in like in replacement of Shardul Thakur, who was playing the BGD last time we toured Australia, someone who's replaced Hardik Pandya in the test squad. So do you see himself as a good all-rounder, good pace all-rounder for India? And do you think he'll be that package which we might need going for the overseas tours right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the same thing because see, you need a all-rounder who is performing at their highest level, and if you're performing against Australia, then
Yeah,
it means you're performing at the highest level. And along with taking wickets, you're bowling so great. Along with that, you're hitting runs. You're targeting Nathan Leon,
yeah,
and specifically him hitting 2 overs, 2 fours in his over.
exactly.
That speaks volumes on your very first test.
Yeah,
In a situation which you're not aware of, you're going for the very first time, and there you're
yeah,
playing with so much confidence.
yeah.
It means it speaks volumes for that player.
Exactly, because it's never easy to come out. And I think the second innings he took on even the Pacers. He went on after the Australian Pacers with Virat Kohli, which was really surprising.
Right.
Because at one stage, we were just looking to bat out the day, I felt, and make Australia bat the next day. But I think there was just a message which came out saying, once Nitish was there, you guys go for runs. And that's when Kohli also ticked off, and with Nitish Reddy, continue that great partnership which we saw. So, yeah,
And
very,
may I
yeah,
continue?
please continue.
I believe the first innings was very important for that
Yeah,
player specifically when he had a partnership with Pant.
yeah,
He so I believe that partnership gave him a lot of confidence,
yeah.
because of which he was able to play even better in in the second innings.
True. I mean, he felt that he belonged here. Basically, I think that's what was very important when a newbie comes to the circuit, and that was really good to see. And now coming to Ahan, people were saying 81st is the new 71st. So how does it feel for Kohli to get his 81st mark when he was under a bit of criticism, saying that he's got old with Rohit Sharma as well. Both of them were under a bit of doubt, like will they be able to perform again for India? And then just on the first match itself, coming in playing 100 in Australia, I think I just saw some news somewhere that he might be even 50, but he'll score a 100 against Australia anytime he comes down under. I mean, that just shows volumes of the man. And just tell us about, just take us through that knock basically of 100.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone who's been following cricket for a while knows that whenever Kohli is out of form, he comes up against Australia in Australian conditions and always does perform well. We saw it when he was
Yeah,
not in form in 2014. He came to Perth, scored a century. He had that slump of not getting hundreds for 3 years. 2022, he came to Australia for the T20 World Cup and had that great knock against Pakistan. And again, he went almost a year without a century, came back to Perth and got the 81st. So, I mean, I think Australia is that one place for him where he knows he'll come back and get into form. And yeah, a lot of
yeah,
people were criticizing him since our 2023 ODI World Cup, where he performed very well. Since then, his
yeah,
form had gone down, but didn't perform well in the T20 World Cup except for the finals, where he stepped up and
yeah,
played. Then against New Zealand, we had the series where he didn't perform well except for the one innings. So a lot of
yeah,
criticism from all the fans are all saying, okay, it's time for him to retire. He's not the same player he was anymore. And then coming into Australia, he came in the first innings, got out for five. So like again, the fans got angry at that. He's not performing. And then he comes into the second innings, he scores the 100. So I mean, Virat Kohli is one player that you should never count out of any situation. So I
yeah.
think it was great that he got the 100. Hopefully, he continues to go on and perform well in the series. And now that he's got the 81st, I think he can go on a good run of getting a few more in this series. And then continue, if we reach the World Test Championship finals, hopefully he performs well there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think his form, along with the other stalwarts in the team, is very important. Because you have just won one, there's a long gap till we come to the second game. So it's very important that we keep the momentum going. Because the long series around 1.5 months. So to keep that energy and that persistent is very important. I feel personally as well. And now I think coming to Roshan on this matter is. KL Rahul, I think he was also very much in doubt because of his flexibility. He used to bat number five, number opening at sometimes, or something of that sort. But then he came in this series with Jaiswal, and I think of course, the first innings he did get Jaiswal did get out early, but then the second innings we saw the combination of Jaiswal and Rahul, mainly Rahul. I'm talking about here about how steady he is in both the innings. So, do you think he has cemented his spot for the rest of the series? Considering that yesterday in the warm-up match as well, he played quite well, and he had to be retired. He didn't even get out. So that I think,
Hmm.
do you think he has placed himself in the opening slot here?
Yeah, that's what I think because Rohit came down at four yesterday, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
Rohit for yeah,
So that could be a combination which they're trying for the second test. Maybe they open with Jaiswal and Rahul,
yeah,
just like the first test, and maybe they then put Rohit down the order at four.
yeah.
Gill at three, Rohit at four, Pant at five,
No, I
Reddy at
think there'll
six.
be one switch there. I think it might be Kohli at four and Rohit at five
Kohli at
because
four,
Rohit,
yeah.
I
Oh,
think,
yeah, sorry. I forgot Kohli. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, Gill at three, Kohli at four, maybe Rohit at five, or maybe Rohit opening again with Jaiswal and Rahul down the order. That could also be a possibility. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but
yeah,
I think they're going to try something new for the second test. I think they gave that hint yesterday. but
Yeah.
maybe they are looking for something different for second test. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that will be an interesting combination. Whatever comes out from the Indian
I
management.
I personally won't prefer Rohit coming down the order. I would
Oh,
prefer him to open with Jaiswal and
okay.
then Rahul coming down the order, because Rahul is a very versatile player. He can
Yeah,
open,
that's
he
true.
can bat down the order too, and he has had a couple of hundreds when he has been batting in the middle order as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean that could be something which they are trying. So let's see what happens.
yeah.
Could be an interesting thing.
Indeed, could be quite interesting. And I feel like, of course, Rohit has batted number five before. I think when he started his Test career under Virat or under Dhoni, he was a number five, I think, three down. So if he has to come
Yeah,
back to that position, it will be like a full cycle for him, as we call it, to come back towards the end of his career, almost, to be honest, at that position. But let's see what the Indian management decide on that front. Now, I think we had a good wrap on the first test, what generally happened. Now, coming to Suryansh, what do you think going forward we can expect from both Australia and India? And do you think you expect Australia to win a couple of matches or win the series? What is your take going into Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, and then eventually Sydney? Let's talk about this year's first. Let's talk about Adelaide and let's talk about Brisbane for now. We'll come to the rest too later on. So, do you think Adelaide and Brisbane? What is the scoreline?
See, as of now, we are 1-0. So I
Yeah.
believe Australia has the capability of winning one of the two tests.
Okay.
So I would go 2-1 in favor of India for the three tests.
Okay, 2-1 in favor of India. That's well said. And Dahan, coming to you on this point, now you have seen a run of results which has happened around as well. Like England have defeated New Zealand, which is a big favor on us, which happened in New Zealand, and but South Africa hammered Sri Lanka. So considering the way South Africa are playing, I'm assuming South Africa will whitewash Sri Lanka at home 2-0 coming into the next game, which starts before us. Actually, it's on 5th. So. Do you see ourselves requiring a minimum 3-1 margin of victory to qualify for WTC, or do you think a 3-2 victory for India also should be sufficient to
No, I
qualify?
think I think a 3-1 will definitely be required because South Africa, I think, besides Sri Lanka, have a few more tests before the World Test Championship, and I
Yeah, they
think
are playing
even
two at home again against Pakistan. So they have an
yeah,
advantage, South
and
Africa.
I think Australia also going to be playing after us. I think they have against England, if I'm not wrong.
Sri
So I
Lanka.
mean,
In Sri
against Sri
Lanka.
Lanka, right? So
Yeah.
this being our final series before the World Test Championship, I think we need to get a strong 3-1 result over here to make sure
Okay.
that we can go through the finals without having to rely on any of the other results. So I think yeah,
Okay.
3-1 would be much better suited than a 3-2. And I mean, I
Okay.
did predict the 3-1 in the last video we had. So hopefully that does
Yeah.
come true this time.
True, true. Very well said. Hopefully, and I think the way we have started gives a lot of positivity for people around the globe as well. So that might be a good factor to look out for. And finally, on the discussion of this series as of now, Roshan, what do you think about the pink ball? And do you see ourselves a bit vulnerable considering how we performed last time in Adelaide?
oh man, this question had to come to me. Or
Yeah, the best for the
uh,
last year, as they say.
see, bygones are bygones. I don't want to focus on the past. It's
Yeah.
a new team now under a new coach. But the only thing that's worrying me is Australia haven't lost a single day-night test in Australia.
Oh, I didn't know that
So
fact. So thank you for that.
uh, yeah, so they haven't lost a single day-night test in Australia.
Okay.
Maybe we could pull off something. Maybe we don't pull off something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get too tired of myself.
Fair,
I've
fair.
said
Yeah.
this before also uh, in the last video which we recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's take it step by step. Let's see what happens. Let's go with the flow. Let's stay
Yeah.
in the present. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, see, we had pulled off the Brisbane miracle, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we cannot win over here, but it will take something extraordinary to win a day-night test, wherein Australia haven't lost a single day-night test match.
Exactly.
So they have a 93.2% success rate, if I'm not wrong.
Damn. Okay.
So
Quite impressive.
that's yeah, that's a very high success rate.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Yeah, that's all I'll say. Now
True.
in 4 days the test match starts.
Yeah, I can't wait for it.
I think it will all depend on the toss.
Is it?
Yeah, if if we I think we'll put up a good score if we decide to bat first. After
Mhm.
if we win the toss, of course.
Yeah.
But if they're batting first, then we'd have to rely again on the
Justify.
attack. Jesse Bhai and Rana and Siraj, DSP.
Yes, very well. That's very well said. So I think we have got a quite a good roundup here. I think to all the viewers who might listen to this video, we are all confident that India might win at least one of the next two tests, either in Adelaide or Brisbane. Surely we'll be 2-1 heading into Boxing Day, which is in Melbourne on the 26th after the Merry Christmas time. So I think this was what was planned for this video, but I'm trying to add something extra because we do have some bit of time left before this meeting gets over. So none of these people know here. But coming now to the surprise package of today, I'll again start with Roshan because this was our favorite topic in college. So Roshan, I think the deadlock of the Champions Trophy has finally been resolved. It is the hybrid model. It is going to be in Dubai. The India's 5 matches and the one semi-final and the final if they reach. If not, it'll be in Lahore or Karachi. But
Yeah,
I think the
yeah.
deadlock has already been resolved.
Hmm.
So, what is your point of view? Because I'm very interested to hear from you. I got that smile as well when I told that topic right now. So, I do want to listen to your point.
Yeah, see, I mean, yeah, of course they have accepted the hybrid model.
Yeah,
That's what the reports are suggesting as of now. I don't know how true they are, but until and unless there is no confirmation from the ICC or BCCI, then I mean, you cannot believe anything as such as of now,
yeah,
right? So yeah, I mean, even the demands from PCB side are also fair. They have apparently demanded that they if any ICC tournament is happening in India, they would travel to India, and even at that time, they would want the hybrid model to be put up. So I think that's fair because there should be some amount of fairness on both the sides, right? If we are not doing that, then I think we
yeah,
should also allow them the same thing. So that's fair from them. Fair from them. I understand where it is coming from.
yeah,
It's not something to get upset about
yeah.
because we are also doing the same thing. So
Fair, fair.
when we are doing the same thing, we should also expect from the other party to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So and the other two demands were that the revenue should be
Revenue,
increased,
yeah.
something like that.
Revenue model
Uh,
for they should get more percentage in the next annual plan
hmm.
in
And
the year.
I'm not able to remember the third demand which they had
There
made.
were three. I thought only two. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
No, I
there were
think there were
three.
three.
I
There were
guess there
three.
were three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not able to recollect the third demand that was made from them. But
Oh,
anyways, the main demand was that they don't
travel.
like they don't travel to India whenever any ICC tournament is happening in India.
True,
And I
true.
think that's fair. That's fair and
Okay.
good.
Good roundup. And Ahan, I know it's maybe just too early to ask you this question, or I don't know, but till when do you see Rohit and Kohli both playing ODI cricket for India? Is it the Champions Trophy, or do you think they'll persist in the Asia Cup, which is another ODI format, or do you think in the long vision you see them playing for the 27 as Gambhir had told earlier on?
I think this mainly depends on the form that they show in the Champions Trophy. If they do
Okay.
continue playing well, they might play till the next tournament. And if they still continue the good run of form, then to the World Cup. I hope I get to see them at the World Cup. I think Kohli's fitness will keep up with him till then, but I'm not sure if Rose will be able to keep up with the game till then. But I do really
Okay.
hope to see them at the 27 World Cup. Give them one last shot of winning it together.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could have been that can be a grand fairy tale finish for both of the
Definitely, yeah.
stalwarts of Indian cricket present there. And Suryansh, finally to just wrap up this whole talk right now, what do you think, like going forward in the series? Do you think South Africa will end up topping the table, or do you see India finishing first or second in this WTC standings, considering where we are placed and how close the table is? What is your final result of India in the table?
India going first or second in the table and going by with a clean sweep against Australia.
Clean sweep. Wow.
Come
What
on, let's go. Let's
what a
go.
bold prediction there. We sweep against Australia. That will be heck of a result to get down under. But again, as I said, it was great chatting with all of you. Thank you for joining in. And really, we'll catch up again. I think the second and third test is very quick succession. So probably after third test, our exam also starts. So I think we'll got to catch up right after the Boxing Day game right away. So
ये सब बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है भाई. ये सब क्या बोल रहा है?
yeah. So take care, and we'll meet you soon again. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.